Well, all heck just broke loose as Elon Musk has put out a tweet that Democrats quickly pounced on to help drive a wedge into Trump's base and Trump's big, beautiful bill. He just tweeted out, "I'm sorry, but I cannot stand it anymore. This massive, outrageous, pork filled congressional spending bill is a disgusting abomination. Shame on those of you who voted for it. You know you did wrong. You know it." So now we know. Now we know really why he left. And I think really nobody should be surprised. The truth sets a man free, and Elon Musk has freely spoken it. He's retweeted that. Um, he's retweeting everyone who's agreeing with him. Federal spending has become excessive. This resulting inflation harms Americans and weaponizes government. The Senate can make this bill better, and it must do so now. That's my hope. I don't think, obviously, there's a lot in this bill I don't love. And I think that this is just how government has worked, but that doesn't mean that's how it's supposed to work or should continue to work forever and ever until the end of days. I don't believe that. So all heck breaks loose after Musk slams GOP bill as a disgusting abomination. It took almost no time at all for Democrats to pounce after Elon Musk slammed the GOP tax bill as a massive, outrageous, pork-filled, disgusting abomination that doesn't even attempt to codify any federal savings found by DOGE and continues America's addiction to spending. Where is the lie? But of course, I agree with Elon Musk, Senate Minority Leader Chuck Schumer said, adding that even Elon Musk, who spent part of the whole process and is one of Trump's buddies, said the bill was bad. We can imagine how bad the bill really is. Then you see Representative Thomas Massey, one of two House Republicans who voted no in the first place, jumping on the "I told you so" train. I agree with Elon. We have both seen the massive waste in government spending, and we know another $5 trillion in debt is a huge mistake. We can and must do better. I think that, the Senate can revise this and still make it better. That's my hope. My hope is that they can cut some of this stuff out. Speaker Mike Johnson writing, "I count Elon Musk as a good friend, and congressional Republicans appreciate everything he has done to put a spotlight on waste, fraud, and abuse in government. Now that DOGE has identified wasteful spending, it is being quantified by the administration and codified by Congress via the rescissions process, and appropriations process. With all due respect, Elon is simply wrong about the one beautiful bill. Our legislation comprehensively delivers on every major campaign promise and the America First agenda, while also securing historic savings of more than $1.6 trillion. It's going to keep our borders secure, provide historic tax relief for hardworking Americans, unleash American energy dominance, reduce spending, and restore peace through strength. Congress is working hard to get this to President Trump's desk by July 4th so we can deliver on the mandate." Here's the thing. I thought the DOGE savings found would reduce the budget for next year. That's kind of the thing. What happened to the DOGE savings, and why aren't those being codified? Why aren't those a part of this? The House version of the big, beautiful bill does not lower the national debt at all. It cuts $1 trillion from Medicaid, blah, blah, blah. So the Democrats are all over this. Elon getting a lot of likes, obviously, because I'm sure Democrats are like, Democrats bounce back and forth. Either Elon's a super genius when they agree with him, or is the world's dumbest person when they disagree with him. That quite frankly, is the pathetic way that the Democrats operate. Jeremy Kauffman, in on this. Wow, if only there was something Elon Musk could do. Well, he can't, to be totally honest with you. Ron Paul saying, "We're with you on this," siding with Elon Musk. Thomas Massey signing with Elon Musk. GOP's got themselves a billionaire benefactor and soured him on politics in less than a year. because they can't stop being corrupt losers and cowards. What a shame. I tend to agree with that. I tend to agree with the fact that they seemingly have taken a guy that, for the most part, actually wanted to do good, at least it seemed like it, and completely soured him on it. Bridget Fatsy writes, Elon is learning Americans already know, you don't drain the swamp drains you. I give Elon credit. It took me 11 years to become disillusioned by the Republican Party. He figured it out in 180 days. Eric July, as I assumed, the real reason is why he left. He realized ultimately, no matter how much he pointed out the waste, he was up against it. Congress, both parties, and the president are terrible on the issue of spending. I agree. Elon, I believe that he thought he was going to be able to do something here about this. I believe that his intentions were pure. I believe that his intentions were good. I have a lot, I have a lot to say about the work that, the things that are part of what Trump promised. If they get it passed, they can reduce spending later. Elon, I like Trump, but I also know I'm not getting everything I want. I want Congress to pass the budget NLT September 30th every year. They can't even do that. I think Elon is obviously correct here. I think it's easy to kind of be beaten down by you take the good with the bad, and that I think Elon probably wanted, he wanted it to run more like a business. I'm sure that's what Elon wanted. He's not getting that. He was never going to get that. And even I thought he was. I thought there was going to be, movement there. I thought he was going to get stuff done. Elon to leave and then, throw a match behind him on the way out the door probably isn't going to make him any friends. But he's probably right. He's probably right here. Konstantin Kisin, Mr. Woke Right himself, saying, I think this is what happens when a normal person is confronted with the reality of politics. It's dispiriting and infuriating in equal measure. Yeah, I think Elon really genuinely thought, that he was going to make a difference, and he probably is completely bummed out. DOGE was extremely popular with American voters. Ultimately, they're working against the will of the voters. Robbie Starbuck saying Congress has never been more hated. The good members know this and understand why. It's largely corrupt, insular, narcissistic, and filled with wrong incentives. It's both sides of the problem, especially in leadership. And that's the nicest stuff I have to say about Congress right now. It seems like, to put it lightly, everyone's signing with Elon Musk here. The Senate can cut the pork out of it, send it back to the House, and that's what they should do. I agree with that. And I think essentially, this is the White House responding.
How do you think President Trump is going to be when he finds out that Elon Musk said, I'm sorry, but I just can't stand it anymore. This massive, outrageous, pork-filled congressional spending bill is a disgusting abomination. Shame on those who voted for it. You know you did wrong. You know it.
Look, the president already knows where Elon Musk stood on this bill. It doesn't change the president's opinion.
And that's why he's no longer with DOGE. That's why he's no longer with the government. I think they gave him a reasonable out. They gave him that big fancy key. They gave him his dignity. And the second he was clear, Elon Musk, was like, yo, I want nothing to do with this. Elon's right. Now, the Senate could do their job and they could cut a lot of this. And I'm hoping that's what the Republicans spend their time doing, as opposed to, using this to divide, because the Democrats are certainly going to pounce on this. There's no doubt in my mind the Democrats are going to pounce on this. And ultimately, they can still do better. They can still improve this, cut the pork. I understand that there's a cost to no tax on tips, and there's a cost to the, the no tax on overtime and things of this nature. What they really should have done is codified some of the things that DOGE wanted first and locked in those savings. I just think that that was probably the better way to handle this, as opposed to, cramming through this bill. We're going to have to wait and see. Obviously, Elon Musk doesn't really have any sway in the government, and he probably won't be invited back anytime soon. I hope I'm wrong about that. I hope his statement just kind of lights a fire under the Senate to hopefully get them to, clean this thing up before it goes to President Trump's desk. We'll have to wait and see. I hope you enjoyed this video. I hope you're informed by this video, and we'll talk to you again real soon.